All right, guys. Hey, Shane here from the Brookings Home Team, powered by Century 21. Got a familiar face. Oops, this way I think I'm supposed to go. Familiar face here right next to me. We got Karen from the Ugly Duckling, Downtown Brookings here. Uh, Thanks, Karen, for jumping in here and taking some minutes out of your busy day to talk with me here.
Absolutely.
I wanted to, I reached out to you and I said, hey, I see you guys are getting ready to open, after the unfortunate fire that we had downtown, just a few doors down from you. Affected, of course, a number of businesses
Mhm.
in one way or another. Not only businesses, but there was tenants, uh,
Mhm.
individuals living above some of
Mhm.
those buildings too, and so it's affected them, and it was just a huge shock, I think, to to the community waking up that morning and seeing the
Mhm.
lights and everything. But obviously it affected you guys, and I wanted to reach out and just kind of see how things are going. How are you bouncing back from all this? What are you doing to try to bounce back?
Sure.
Just anything you'd like to share with us. So thanks again for doing this.
Sure. Absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, that was quite the shock that morning. My one of my business partners had was texting me at 6:30 in the morning of pictures of flames shooting out of the Bros building. And yeah, your first instinct is there's people that'll live above these buildings, and then, of course, your next concern is then of your own buildings. We don't own our building, but um still we have other people's items in our store, so that your mind just goes crazy at times. And um we were not able to get into our building that first night until later to even begin to see what kind of damage there was because of carbon monoxide,
Yeah. Oh,
but was reading super high. And so yeah, then when we did get in there, there was probably about 12 inches of water in the basement at that point, but by the next morning there was 18 inches of water, up to the second step going coming upstairs from the basement. And in the basement is where we primarily have our workshop for the framing, and we also hold classes down there. So there was some stained glass equipment that was damaged because of that, but we also lost some of our equipment, and so that's kind of heart wrenching.
yeah.
And but yeah. Uh, Intech was there right away Tuesday morning, and we were pumping out water and just starting that whole cleanup process pretty much immediately.
I think you were kind of in limbo at first because I mean, you had to wait on a few things, didn't you, for
Yeah.
a bit?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we first way to get in the building, and um then you have to, insurance is never quick.
Mhm.
And then we had the holiday in there, so that, catastrophic events do not take holidays, but
No.
everybody else does.
Yeah.
So you have a holiday in there that nobody's wanting to work, and um, so yeah, we had to wait for the adjuster to come, and then he came on a Friday. He came from California, of all places.
Wow.
Yeah, he came from California, and that was on Friday. On Saturday, we had lined up then about 20 or so people. I had just put out on my personal Facebook page, hey, we're looking for like 6 to 8 people that might help us start hauling stuff out. I mean, like matting material and glass and foam core and just all the stuff that was wet. And we had about 20 people show up.
Wow.
I had asked for somebody, hey, would anybody be willing to furnish a lunch for our crew? Somebody immediately signed up for that and had pizzas delivered for our crew of 20 volunteers. And that was a blessing. Just,
Yeah.
yeah. And it didn't take us but maybe 2.5 hours to clear out
Wow.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Many hands make light work, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So obviously the community stepped up a little bit here. They answered the call, came and helped
Yep.
clean up, and
Yep.
kind of expedited that part of it there for you. It sounds like.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
So you so
Definitely.
you you got past the insurance and well, in a sense,
Yeah.
you passed it, so you could at least get in and
Yeah.
start doing stuff. But
Yeah.
how long did it take you? Because you are open. The good news is now you're open.
We are open.
And
Our upstairs was primarily only had smoke. I shouldn't say only because it's taken a good 2 full weeks to be able to say, oh, it doesn't smell bad in here.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't smell bad. And people have walked in and are like, yeah, because we're very conscientious of that. We don't want that to be what they think of us is that we smell, and people are like, well, I can smell that there's something, but it's not bad
yeah.
anymore. So that's helpful. And so we've done a lot, and Tech again had air scrubbers, and at night they did the ozone things.
Mhm.
We've learned a lot during the process and things I really didn't want to learn. And
Yeah,
but yeah, so the upstairs is open. We moved things around, and we were mopping the floors just to help with that smell too. With some nice smelling floor cleaner and hoping that would help too. And
sure.
moving things around, and yeah, so
Okay.
the upstairs is fully functional.
And that took a couple weeks to get to that
Took a couple
point.
weeks. Yep,
Yep.
yep.
So now you kind of focused. Oh, go ahead.
And we really didn't want to be open, first of all, because of the smell. And then they were downstairs, Intech was taking out carpets and sheetrock. And then in the middle of taking out the sheetrock, they've come across some very, very old wallpaper that they were concerned about asbestos.
Oh,
So that gentleman came and checked that out yesterday. We haven't heard anything.
okay.
So I don't know whether they'll finish taking out sheetrock or what that means for that.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Those buildings are quite old.
Old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Our plaque in our windows says 1938.
okay.
Yeah, our historical plaque. And then it was a bowling alley at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about all the history on those older.
I know.
It would be cool.
I even went down the rabbit trail on the Norby archives, on SDSU, and was trying to find pictures of that building, but not not I couldn't find
Can
anything.
do
But it
that.
was still fun to
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
all the historical things downtown.
So you are open now. What are your days that you're open and hours and stuff now?
Our hours are Tuesday through Friday, 10 until 5:30, Saturdays 10 until 5. Framing hours vary a little bit,
Mhm.
just mostly because Fred works a full-time job. So somebody is always there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays for framing. And then if you call ahead and make an appointment for Fridays and Saturdays, it's helpful.
Okay. All right.
Yep,
And
it's
and yeah,
helpful.
you're in a temporary spot, I believe, for the framing then?
To temporary workspace. So you'd still want to bring your items to 312 Main Avenue at the Ugly Duckling. And then our workspace then is right next door at the Carrot Seed in the basement. She's gave us a little space so that we can just keep things going. And like we haven't moved our saws or anything like that. So we order our frames in already put together, which costs us a little more, but we don't have to move a saw. We don't have to worry about noise over there, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
We lost our computerized mat cutter, which is a snazzy machine. So Fred and Christine are learning how to manually cut mats. We just, to make do, we bought a manual one until insurance comes through.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah, so you're doing the best you can with what you have.
yeah,
And
that's what
and
we do.
yeah. I mean, you don't want to I don't even know how to say it. You in a sense were kind of the lucky ones because I mean there's
Yeah,
some that either don't
yeah,
have a business or they
yeah.
don't know what's going to happen yet. So
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Obviously, our hearts go out to the Brosts, and I mean that's a lot of years right there that they've been in downtown Brookings, and Sherelle at Seven Songbirds. My heart breaks for her, and um, the Exchange. They're still in limbo. Sherelle's building's going to have to come down, but they're having to figure that out as far as what that means for the Exchange and the Grunwald building. And there's, six businesses that are impacted in his building,
yeah.
and then essentially there's about 20 of us affected in our building as far as
Mm,
income, some making money
yeah.
anyway
Yeah.
with our vendors. Yeah.
Not to mention the people living above it too. I mean,
And
they're
the people living above it. Yeah. Thank goodness, it was Christmas break. And so there was a lot of people that were not home.
yeah.
I think that played a part too in people not being hurt. And yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and possessions can be replaced, but lives can't.
No, exactly. No, well, anything else you want to add before we end it here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just come downtown and
Yeah.
support us and find out where the ones are that have been displaced. I know there's several that are in temporary spots, and find out where they're going to be setting up shop. Come visit us all.
They are taking donations, I believe, and different businesses have
Yep.
some jars, I
Yep,
think, sitting
jars.
out.
Yep, yep.
And
We have a jar up too. I mean, not for us, but for the broader,
right.
for the broader cause. And yeah, so some
I'll I'll
temporary.
I'll depending on where people are seeing this, I'll try to put the link for the donation too. I'll try to put that
Mhm,
in the post if I can
mhm.
put it on whatever social media it's on. So look for that if people want to
Yes,
donate. But
yes. And there is a QR code out there on jars. Like if a lot of people don't carry cash, so there are QR codes on things. There's a QR code in the shopper yesterday, I believe. And so there's ways.
yeah, perfect. Karen, thanks again so much. Grateful that you guys are still up and going and
Yeah,
nobody got hurt there. And
yeah.
I'm glad you're plugging along and
Plugging
trying to
along.
do what you can. So
Yeah,
that's what downtown Brookings is all about is
that's right.
um, just sticking with it. And
Exactly.
that's the strong part of everybody. So
Yeah.
yeah, again, if you want to give your hours and your address so everybody knows,
Yep.
and we'll end it with that.
Yeah. Our 312 Main Avenue, the Ugly Duckling. Hours are Tuesday through Friday, 10 until 5:30, Saturday, 10 until 5. Give us a call if you have any questions about framing. And that number is 605-695-4668.
Awesome. Karen, thanks again. Get back to work and
Thanks, Shane.
tell Fred, sorry about the Packers, but the
Yeah.
Vikings.
Same with the Broncos.
I know. I know. Have a
Thanks,
great
Shane.
day.
You too.
Yeah.